What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
UFC 248 from Las Vegas. Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero this past March 7th happened, and woo-wee! Man, probably one of the best fights I've ever seen. No, it's up there. Arguably one of the best fights I've ever seen. By far the most exciting female fight that's ever happened ever. With Zhang Weili versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk, the co-main event for the strawweight belt. Weili was defending it for the first time after beating Andrade, and it was a crazy war, just like back and forth, like in round 3 or somewhere around there. Joanna started morphing into the Elephant Man. Her forehead started to swell up like Scottie Pippen in this fucking semifinals. It's got and it just kept getting bigger and kind of started moving around. It's like half Klingon. It was insane. It was like towards the end of the fight, like round 4 and round 5. Like round 3 and 4, I was just I couldn't sit down anymore. I had to stand up. And round 5, I was literally jumping. It was like I was doing imaginary jump rope. I'm not a jumper. I don't jump. I don't hop. I jiggle too much. I jiggle too much to be airborne for any amount of time and then land back down on the ground. But I was there was so much anxiety, like just with Joanna's forehead. I was like visualizing her skull being crushed in and just her like frontal lobe being damaged. I mean, it's just a big hematoma, but I'm going through all just like extreme medical things that could be going wrong with that whole situation. And it keeps getting hit. And she, it's like she looks like she's fading, and then Weili's taking over, and then all of a sudden Jędrzejczyk throws something and like clips Weili and like staggers her. Just an insane fight. By the end of the fight, right? It's like leading into the main event. I was exhausted. I was just so physically, emotionally, just so exhausted from just surviving watching that fight. It was so stressful. And then, of course, the main event ended up being, I mean, especially in comparison. You want to compare, the only worse way to end that card would have had Ngannou versus the Black Beast 2. To rewatch that one, which literally nothing happened. This one, it seemed like more like Adesanya. This is Adesanya versus Romero was the main event. It seemed like Adesanya when he fought Anderson Silva. Just very cautious, never really wanting to get into fire, and just kind of doing enough to win and stay ahead on the scorecards. But yeah, it was a win for Adesanya, which I thought he won. It was a close fight. He didn't do a whole lot. And Romero complaining at the end. It's like Romero didn't do shit. I mean, he threw a couple. He landed one more punch in the first round, but literally in the first round just stood still. Stood still, covered up, and just kind of rotated. Just doing the least amount of activity as possible. And then he's trying to be mad at Israel Adesanya, who is, not playing his game and attacking wild. I mean, he did hit Israel a couple times, but, I thought Izzy landed a lot more and just did a lot more in that fight. But yeah, that Weili Zhang fight and Joanna was just, it was crazy. It was so crazy. There were other great fights. Beneil Dariush got a great knockout. Neil Magny just dominated Li Jingliang, who I'm a fan of, but Neil Magny is just he's on a good one, man. Oliveira Max Griffin fight was good. The Sean O'Malley return after 2 years, he looked amazing. Just destroyed Jose Quinones. But yeah, overall, some fun fights. The Mark Madsen Hubbard fight was fun. Just the whole card, pretty much. Deron Wynn, if you were listening to commentary, it seemed like he was on the verge of potentially winning if he got another takedown. Like, it was so pro-win in the commentary booth. Meanwhile, Mearshart just piecing him up consistently throughout the entire fight up until the finish. But yeah, just Deron Wynn was throwing heavy shots and was landing every once in a while. But during those every once in a while landings, he was getting pieced up like crazy. He needs to cut down and stop pretending he's DC and just get to the real weight where he's not a tiny person in there. But yeah, just a great night of fights. I was really happy with my internet stream. It really held up for me, and which is awesome because I am broke as hell. So when things work out, I enjoy it. And that was just a historic fight. Like, every woman in the division shit their pants when they saw that fight. Because they're like, oh, I could potentially be going through that. And I don't know how many more Weili Zhang of fights like that she can go through, but god damn. So yeah, great card. UFC 248. That fight is well worth the price of illegal stream. Now moving on to next week, UFC Fight Night, Lee versus Oliveira from Brasília, Brazil. March 14th, headline Kevin Lee versus Charles Oliveira. Kevin Lee coming off of his knockout against, forget the dude's name, big wrestler dude, but Kevin Lee's been, I think that was his second fight after changing camps to TriStar. Seemed like he was more humble after making the switch, but leading up to, I think after his last fight, doing all the press that he did, he turned into the same annoying kind of. It's like some people just aren't good at talking shit. It's just cringy. Like he thinks he's good, which makes it cringy. Unlike Triple C, who like knows he's being cringy and leans into it. Like when you're like accidentally being cringe, that's where Kevin Lee lives. I don't. Yeah, it just doesn't work. Just doesn't work. And Charles Oliveira is just it's going to be a great fight. Damian Maia versus Gilbert Burns. Hanato Moicano versus Damir Hadzavec. Johnny Walker's back against Krylov. That should be a fun one. Trinaldo McDessie. Man. Brandon Moreno versus Hussier Formiga. Hani Yaya. Man, they are rolling out all the Brazilians. This could be a good fight card. Thankfully, it's on ESPN Plus, so it should be easy, stress-free, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl watching this card. I'm looking forward to it. Those Brazil cards, there's usually people throw down at those cards, so because everybody does jiu-jitsu and nobody. When you got two guys that grapple, you're not going to see grappling. You're going to see a bad striking match. Not bad necessarily, but you're going to see grapplers striking. But I think this card is just stacked with a bunch of fun names. So I'm looking forward to it next week from Brasilia. I don't know if they've been to Brasilia yet, but definitely always fun when they go to Brazil. But that's it for this episode. For sure, if you can find the fight of Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Zhang Weili, Weili Zhang. I still don't know the order in which it's polite or proper to be saying her name. But if you can find all 5 rounds of that war, man, that was just it's amazing to when it's been a while. It's been a while, and it was amazing, and I loved it. So that's it for this episode. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at inspireddisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor Art. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!